Okay, number 47. Should we have the kids' college fund? We should have bet the kids' college fund the dog crap. Look at one specific case of a college professor with 2 children. 2 years ago, this professor invested $160,000, hoping to have $420,000 available 12 years later, when the first child started college. But the account's balance right now is only $140,000. The professor's not happy, evidently. Well, yeah, of course, he lost $20,000. That's not good. So let's figure out what's needed to get back on track. Part A, what's the original annual rate of return that was needed to reach the professor's goal when he started out 2 years ago? So that is, initially, this number, again, 47. It invested $160,000. 2 years ago. His plan was to invest for 12 years and reach the goal of 400. He would withdraw 420,000 without paying anything else into it, right? So the annuity payments are 0. So put those in your calculator. Part A asks what interest rate would the professor have needed, and when you solve for the interest rate, you get 8.37%. So it would have needed 8.37%. Obviously, he's getting a negative rate of return so far. So anyway, so that's part A. Part B. Now with $140,000 in the fund and 10 years remaining before his first child starts college, what annual rate of return would the fund have to earn to reach the goal now? So set present value is what, 140,000. There's 10 years left. We don't pay more payments in it, and we want to reach the future value of 420,000. What would the interest rate have to be? I would be, we solve for it in this way. We have 11.61%. So 2 years ago, we would have needed only 8.37%. Now, we only have 10 years left and less money to work with. We need 11.6%. Part C, shocked by his experience of the past 2 years, because, you know, professors are so smart and all, right? Professor feels the college mutual fund has invested too much in stocks. He wants a low-risk fund in order to ensure that the necessary 420,000 is reached in 10 years. He's willing to make end-of-month deposits, not years, to the fund as well. He later funds a fund that promises to pay guaranteed returns, which there's no such thing, by the way, as guaranteed returns, of 6%. At least not in a mutual fund. Anyway, of 6% compounded monthly. So we're going to transfer the 140,000 to this new fund, and it's asking how large must our monthly deposits be in order to reach the 420,000. Again, assuming that we're getting 6% per year. So for 10 years, though, we're going to be n equals for 10 years. We're going to be making monthly payments, and there's going to be 12 monthly compounding periods per year for those 10 years. So that's 10 years times 12 compounding periods equals 120 total compounding periods and 120 total payments in this annuity that we're going to have to pay. I'm going to go ahead and set present value. This is where the sign matters. Present value, we're going to deposit the $140,000 that we have into this fund. That's a negative 140,000. Now, the PMT that we're solving for is going to be the same sign, negative, because this is what payment we have to make. We want to reach a goal, be able to withdraw a future value of 420,000. And the fund pays an interest rate of 6% per year divided by 12 equals 0.5% per month. Okay? So put that in your calculator and solve for this. Solve for the payment. The question asks, how large must the monthly payment be in order to reach our goal? Does anyone have that? Anyone? Oh. Rounded off 2008, I think. That's part C. And now D. reads, now the professor gets sticker shock because he wanted to pay $1,000 extra per month. He decides to invest instead $140,000 today and $500 at the end of each month for the next 10 years into a fund that has 30% stock and 50%, 50% stock and 50% bonds. So it's half stocks, half bonds, and hope for the best. What annual rate of return would he have to get on this fund in order to reach our goal? So here again, we're solving for the interest rate. Present value is still $140,000. The annuity payments, EMT, it's supposed to be negative, right? Will be net $500. This is where the sign has to agree, otherwise you'll get this problem wrong. The sign, we're paying $140,000 into this fund, and we're paying another $500 per month into the fund for 10 years at 12 times a month, so N is going to be 120 again, right? And we want to reach our target future value, 420,000. Make sure that future value is positive because we're going to withdraw that much when our eldest goes to college, I guess. And solve for I, the interest rate. What rate of return must we get in our fund? Solving for I, okay, 8.48%, which actually was, it's about the rate of return we would have needed initially on the investment 2 years ago, 140,000 for 12 years without paying into it any further. So, and that's number 47.